Hello and welcome. Today I want to make these Daniel Smith watercolor palettes more customizable because I want to remove the double-sided tape that's holding these quarter-sized pens in this palette, but I want to still use this palette. So what I'm going to do is loosen up the glue from this palette, then label all of these watercolors, and after that, because I want to use these palettes, I want to use this metal tape in a plastic palette. And you can cut these with your scissors. I got these from Amazon. And I'm using some vinyl sticker paper and printing it on and printed it as pigment ink or has pigment ink so that it stays waterproof. I already tried it with this palette and it worked, so I will show you all. I also use magnets at the bottom of these quarter pens. So this is, for example, buff titanium. And I hope this is kind of legible. I want to try to use these quarter pens, at least for the most part, before I need reading glasses. I hope. For example, this is buff titanium. And I put a magnet at the bottom, the name. There is a risk with these quarter pens, and that is I've moved. And mainly this palette, I think, and the neutral palette, sort of, you can see, came loose. I do believe this is Sleeping Beauty Turquoise Genuine. So I might have some colors in the wrong pen, but I don't think there are that many colors that I've got wrong. But that tends to happen. Sometimes it just hardens up. It hardens up in the pen and it shrinks and it gets loose. So that's a risk. I don't recommend using too much heat on these types of palettes because it's still plastic, so it might melt. So, and once it's pretty warm, I'm gonna loosen up the quarter pens. And I'm trying to keep it in order. Not trying, I'm gonna keep it in order. So I have all my watercolors magnetized inside the palette, which is so cool. It was a lot of work to pry all of these watercolor pens out of this box. They are labeled, of course, and I know it won't focus. No, it doesn't want to focus. But the pens are labeled. I might have labeled a bunch of these colors wrong because I think I even dropped this palette as well, and see it, the colors just are popping out of their pens. But Paris Pink, I think, is an example. No, not anymore. It got stuck inside. But there are colors that just got loose in their pens. And with the red ochres and burnt siennas, I didn't see the difference. So it is what it is. I did my best. But the goal was to be able to maneuver the colors around so that I can just pick up a color and put it inside a palette and use the colors. So Wisteria, Perylene Violet, I'm pretty sure that these colors are correct. The French Ultramarine is just completely loose and out of the quarter pan. But the second stage, or the second step for this palette is making new cards for these palettes that I wanna put on top of the palette, so I know exactly how the color looks and what name it is, or what I think it is. So I've swatched all of the colors. I wanted to do it on screen, but yeah, I couldn't do it and the camera couldn't handle it. So here's page 1, or palette 1 I should say. Palette 2. You know what? This palette was also the hardest one to re-wet, especially with colors like Ultramarine Violet. Cobalt Violet Deep was also harder to re-wet. I don't know what happened to the Cobalt Green Pale. It seems to have like a whole bunch of binder that's separated. Lapis Lazuli also has quite a lot of binder, but you don't really see it in the swatch. But it's also a color that's harder to re-wet and weaker overall. Palette 3. I do think I got all of the colors right. I'm pretty sure. Because they seem to match the description pretty well. Like the Diopside, is it Diopside? Diopside? Genuine is such a gorgeous color. It would look so pretty in a landscape. It has granulation in the color, but it looks so bright and vibrant. So gorgeous. And here is the 4th palette that I dropped. And I don't think all of the colors are correct, but I did my best. I'm gonna laminate them. So I've tried to do a demo of this quick painting, but I completely failed because the painting was out of focus. Everything else was in focus. This palette was in focus. My water cup, my mixing palette was in focus, but not the painting. So I picked these 6 colors to make this painting, but I eventually went with these 4 colors. It's Pearly Maroon, Persian Green, Quinacridone Burnt Orange, and Indrathrone Blue. And for the skin tone, I mainly played with the Pearly Maroon and Persian Green. And I like how it turned out, especially the hair. I was playing with the Quinacridone Burnt Orange and Indrathrone Blue, and it gives like such a beautiful glow. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing with these palettes. I also laminated these swatch cards and Velcro them on top of the palette. So I think this palette is a lot more useful now. So I can't wait to do a lot of paintings with these. By the way, I'm going through a phase of looking through my watercolor collection and seeing what I own. And I quite like what I own. So yeah, I hope you enjoy these types of videos that are coming. Because I have a video about schminken coming up. And I think Egalo. It depends which one will come first. I didn't expect this one to go up first. But yeah, I'm getting obsessed. I'm getting obsessed with the things that I already own. So that's a good thing. So now I'm wondering, are you going through your watercolor collection and seeing what you own? Or are you trying to acquire more watercolors? Which is fine, because I know I have a lot, and I know not many people have that many watercolors, but yeah, it's my personal obsession, watercolors, and I obsess way less with other stuff. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I definitely hope to see you in the next video. Until then, YouTube, bye bye!